Thank you.
A beautiful morning, Brussels. I'm Vince Cortez, and I'm the account executive for Novobi. And with us today is our esteemed guest. Let me do a good introduction about her. She is the head of technology at NTS Tire Supply, a leading tractor tire supply company in the U.S. She has over 15 years of cross-functional project and organizational development leadership experience. As a certified project manager and Scrum Master, she has brought skills and insights that elevated the company's Odoo system from a simple ERP to a strategic business tool that has become a pivotal component to NTS success. Without further ado, I give you Ms. Amanda Wichern.
Oh, wow, thanks. You know, we're supposed to under-promise, over-deliver here, you guys. Like, I don't know about that intro.
All right, so I know everyone is here to learn about how Odoo supported your growth in leading the agricultural tire business in the U.S. But before we go into the details, please tell us more about NTS and why you have decided to go for Odoo.
Yeah, so the software we were on before just really was limited. You really couldn't make a lot of modifications, and with our business, we had a lot of vision of building out some really cool tools, and we just really didn't have the flexibility to do that. We were a small business. When we first integrated or implemented Odoo, we only had about 9 employees. We were really small, so the budget was small, right? But we had, a lot of things we wanted to do, and so we just started looking at different platforms on, the open source platform, the community that was out there, and what really gave us the flexibility at a low cost, and that's really why, Odoo was the leader there.
Oh, awesome. So let me check that. It's 5 years already.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy, right?
Time flies.
So what are the things that you like to share with us that specifically helped the business? Describe what it did for NTS Tires.
Yeah, so, we were able to build, some different custom integrations. We're synced up now with our vendors, so now we have a lot more visibility in our supply chain. That was really key. We have some automation around pricing and really have been able to automate a lot of workflows from beginning to end to really build that operational efficiency. I mean, we've over doubled in size, and really Odoo's helped us, with that, having flexibility to build some of those custom tools.
Oh, okay. So in terms of strategic vision, Odoo was able to help you to support that growth, right? So I remember one of our conversations, you were telling about process first, technology accelerator. Tell us, walk us through all that process there.
Yeah, so that's really key. We had a lot of great vision on let's build this tool, let's build that tool, and it's like trying to do everything at once, nothing happens, right? So really it's about let's put together the process first. Technology really is, the accelerator. One of the first things that we did is we said, where's the opportunity? Let's define our core customer. We can't go out there and serve everybody. Who's truly our core customer? And what attributes do they look for in a business? What are the 10 things that they're looking for? And then grade yourself. Where do we fit on that scale? And then where do our competitors fit in that scale? And then that really tells us where the opportunity is. And so we really looked at, what are those things that our customers looking at? For us, it's, product experience, changeover fitment experience. What's that customer experience like? And then we looked at, okay, what makes us unique and different? What are the things that we can go do as an organization that really can make us best in the world at? And through that, we figured out what are those things, those differentiators, and came up with a plan. Really broke out that 3-year plan. It doesn't have to be overly complicated, real simple, right? And just built out that strategic swim lane. So we put, kind of our 6 differentiators. Are there any other operational efficiencies that we need to do to help scale and break those activities out? Now, one of the things that we also make sure and do is we only reserve about 75% of our capacity for strategic projects. And then we save the other 25 for fast track. That's really important to make sure that we save some of the things for the operational improvements that we need to do. Then so you have that quarterly plan, that 3-year vision. Everybody's aligned. What's making us different in the marketplace? But the key then is to break it down even further. So we go, every quarter we do a planning session. We have our corporate rocks. We break it down in the team and to the individual. Now, a lot of companies will be like, yeah, I have all these quarterly rocks, and nothing happens at the end, right?
Yep, that's right.
I've been in so many businesses, it's like, okay, this sounds great, but you hit your end of your quarter and nothing happens. Well, by breaking it down into the 13-week race has really allowed us to achieve the things we set out to do. And then we have complete alignment from the leadership team all the way down to the individuals. And then technology really focuses on corporate rocks. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times it's like finance is like, hey, I want this, and sales wants this, and people are trying to get you when you're going to the bathroom, and it's like, geez Louise. So really technology focuses on the corporate rocks. If a team or an individual has a rock they're working on that needs tech needs, then we have SMEs. The SMEs will need to advocate for those. So one of the things I think is really critical in our success is we defined a SME for each functional area. Right. So sales has their own SME, logistics has their own SME, and really this puts the ownership on the business. Technology is just a support. Really that SME owns everything. So they add the ideas to the backlog, they approve the requirements, they do all the testing, and they train and communicate the deployments. That also has allowed me to expand our tech team and really gave us a lot more capacity to do more things. So like I said, we had 75% on the strategic projects, but then 25% we save for fast track. And so what we do with that is every 2 weeks we meet, we do a sprint planning session with the SMEs, and then the SMEs go around, do a round robin, and they advocate for the things that they think's most important. And that's really key. Because there's so many times where it's like things get deployed and the business is like, why did you do that? I end up being more of a salesperson in technology than actually doing the fun things of improving, the software. So this really puts that ownership on the SMEs and the business, and they get to advocate, and then the SMEs vote. So then it's kind of fun too. So they all get to vote. We do 1, 2, 3. We pick 2 fast track projects. So for your business, you just figure out what is the right time slot. For us, it's 15-hour time slots for fast track projects, so we make sure they're broken down, they're not too big of things, chunks. Right? And so then they vote and we pick 2. So this kind of just shows how we do that. So then the other thing that has made us successful with just kind of managing these fast track projects and these strategic with our partner is having this project plan that really breaks it down to the milestones. So, when do we select the project? When do we submit those requirements? When do we freeze those? And then development happens, and we have kind of when's that deployment schedule. And this really helps us. We were getting off track for a while, and it's like, where are we falling down? This allows us to see kind of where there's obstacles sooner so that we can be a lot more proactive in getting things deployed. And it really just gives you a snapshot to the whole business, what's going on. All right, and then lastly, it would be having a scorecard KPI to go along with that. And that's really allowed us to be a lot more proactive so that we can see, where is this, if we have slow requests that are greater than 10 seconds, is there been any downtime? Really having a quick snapshot for the business. What are those, if you're stranded on an island, what are those 5 to 10 things that you need to know about? To be able to jump into the business. So we really look for the reds and dig in and figure out, where we can go make those improvements.
No, I think that's the one. That's the last. No, that's not the last slide, but I'm pretty sure you're talking about scorecards and KPIs. And, and that also not goes through the users themselves, but also the partner. So I'm going to be a little impartial here. And how the Novobi help you realize all of those benefits that you've mentioned earlier?
Say that one more time?
Novobi, as a partner.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I think just helping, putting together the different logs and the reports to be able to be more proactive gave us a lot more visibility. So I think that's probably the one thing that we work together on.
Yep, that's really wonderful to hear. So you've been doing this for the last 5 years. You've broken down big chunks of data in sprints and broken it down to granular pieces. How does the next 3 years look for NTS Tires, having to had this kind of success from the past, moving towards to the future? What are you looking for? What do you see in the future as you continue to grow with Odoo and, of course, Novobi?
Yeah, it looks promising. Really having that 3-year plan is key. We're now seeing, it's achievable. When you don't break it down into those smaller pieces, it can seem daunting, like it's never going to happen. But now seeing the process work, I know it's going to. We've already doubled in size, right? And we're continuing to have a ton of growth. And so the biggest thing I think, especially with my experience in other companies, we're going to be able to scale. Too many times it's like the ship gets too big and you can't move the Titanic. This really is giving us the foundation just to continue to do improvements and enhancements.
All right. Now, we're opening the floor for other Q&A sessions that you'd like to ask Amanda. If there's questions from our esteemed audience. Oh, there's a question. Sir?
From what you've seen from Odoo experience this year, do you see any features, technologies, anything that you think will benefit NTS into the future?
Yeah, I am so excited about V16. It's kind of funny, like some of the customizations that we put in are new features in V16, right? So I'm literally sitting through the keynote and I'm like, ooh, they got this. Or like new projects that we have in our roadmap. I'm like, yes, it's already built. We don't have to do a customization, right? So super excited about V16. That's one of the things that we were chatting about. Like we just need to get on V16 as fast as possible because it has a lot of things to strip out and get back to core Odoo, and then also new features that we're looking to do as a business.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from our audience? Oh.
Thank you. Yeah, let me try to formulate. My question is about your relationship with the partner. What are you looking for there? How do you think that would optimally work? And I'm thinking in terms of technology, people, and maybe also how a partner should fit into your processes.
Good question. Yeah, I think really you need to have a strategic relationship. You really need to be integrated and have open and honest conversation, right? There's going to be, bumps in the road. There's going to be things that happen that aren't great, but you need to be able to have that open conversation and transparency to improve, right? I think that's the key to a relationship. And again, it's just having, whatever tools that you're building, having that visibility. So if there's a lot of downtime, we have a conversation and figure out how together to make, improve that. So I would say that would be the biggest thing is communication.
Great, thank you.
All right. I think if there's no more questions, we'd like to thank Amanda for coming over here in Brussels and sharing their experiences to us. And if there's, I think it's all done for us today here in Brussels. So thank you, Amanda, and thank you all for listening to our program today.
All right.